15 years ago, right here in this very same place, immigrant tomato workers were treated like modern-day slaves. They were held captive in nothing but run-down trailers, forced to work for very little wages, and threatened with deportation if they told anyone. It was a practice that had been happening for a long time, and when it was discovered, America was shocked. That's not happening here anymore, though, at least not to the extent that it was back then. But today, the community of Immokalee, Florida has not recovered from that mess, and it is still a very poor place. Now, this isn't going to be the typical video when I drive around and talk only about what's wrong with the place. Instead, I'm going to try to show you the good things about Immokalee. I think we're going to see this isn't a sob story. It actually might have a happy ending. But let's begin with where we are. Immokalee is a smallish place of 28,000 people in south central Florida. It's about as far away from anyone else you can get in this state. All around, there's fields that go off into the horizon. We're not too far away from the Everglades, and this all used to be a big swamp too. But it was drained, and now this is one of the most productive regions in the state. They call it Florida's fruit belt. There's a good chance the next tomato you eat will have been grown and picked right here. Tomatoes are a big deal in Immokalee. It's also where tons of peaches, blueberries, watermelons, and strawberries are produced too. Think California's Central Valley, but stick it out in the middle of nowhere, Florida. According to the census, Immokalee is the poorest city in the state, and it's one of the poorest places in the whole country. 4 in 10 people here technically live in poverty, but I think it's far higher than that. Many people here either live completely on welfare or earn $10,000 a year working in the fields. Plus, Immokalee is also home to thousands of temporary field workers from down south too. They're also very poor, but they're not counted as part of the permanent population. 80% of the community here is made up of immigrants, both legal and illegal. A large percentage of the population is either Haitian or they're from Mexico or Central America. The main drags here are made up of thrift stores, dollar stores, and payday advance stores that charge 400% interest. There's also a lot of fast food and places to get Mexican food and shopping places geared towards Hispanics. There's certainly not any healthy eating options, which is just one reason a lot of Immokalee is so unhealthy. Many of the neighborhoods here are run down and the homes are very small. Some parts of town are entirely made up of trailer parks, many of which are likely not fit to live in. A lot of these trailers are infested with rodents, snakes, and roaches. They get in through all the holes in the floors and ceilings. In some cases, there aren't any working bathrooms. Mold is common, and there might be 12 people living in a single trailer. On just about every block, you see chickens running around. There's lots of homes here too. Those are in better condition than the trailers, but that's not saying much. Everybody here is just trying to get by. It all looks like a very different country. But it's not. We're in the far reaches of Collier County, only 45 minutes from Naples. Naples looks like this, in case you've never seen it. It's all old white people who make 10 times as much money. A lot of the people in Naples shop at Whole Foods, and they buy their vegetables that are grown in Immokalee. There's not a lot to do here for work. There's a few government jobs, a hospital, some schools. Of course, there's packing houses. There's a casino run by the Seminole tribe in town. That's probably everybody's best bet for a decent wage in Immokalee. It's not really dangerous here. It's above average, but it's not crazy crime. Traditionally, the Hispanic population isn't a very violent one. It's just broke. That's because a lot of the people who live here work in the fields. And that's not a fast track to get rich in America, is it? Field workers down here get paid by the bucket or by the hour. On a good day, you can make $130 in cash. Most field workers make about 10 or 15 grand a year. Some of the hardest workers can make 20 grand. But it's hard work. It's sunrise to sundown in the scorching heat. A lot of the workers ride their bikes to a central location and then they're picked up by a bus. Here you can see all their bikes locked up at this pickup spot. You hardly see any white people out there in those fields. You also hardly see any native blacks out there either. When you drive around, it's pretty clear as to who's working and who isn't working. The trailer parks where all the Hispanics live, they're all empty during the day. But there's a lot more people home in the apartment complexes in town. The low wages, the working conditions, this is all still far much better today than it was 15 years ago. Back then, a lot of the illegal workers were paid very little and they suffered greatly. It was discovered there was a huge underground tragedy happening right in plain sight. Workers were held against their will and they were locked inside of miserable trailers at night. You were actually lucky if you had a trailer. Some workers were chained inside of U-Hauls all night long. A lot of the workers were beaten and raped. They were forced to work in the sun without breaks at gunpoint. Medical assistance was rare. Some were sold into sex trafficking. It was all very sick, equivalent to modern-day slavery. But instead of owning the slaves, they just rented them. A lot of the workers just put up with it. They were afraid to speak about it. And to be honest, there really wasn't much else to do for work in the area. At least legal work. This all came to light when the Immokalee community finally banded together and formed the Coalition of Immokalee Workers. And they exposed the practice and they changed the working conditions. So today, it's far less like that. The workers get decent wages. Part of those higher wages are paid for by you and I when we buy more expensive produce. I'm sure the whole history of slavery part is why this place is still so poor. But just as things changed back then for the workers, things seem to be changing even more today. After all, poverty is just a state of mind and certainly not permanent. Soon we're going to meet one resident who grew up working in the fields. He's going to tell us that a lot of the younger generation here is beginning to move on from field work and find jobs with larger companies in the area. They're making more money while not having to slave away their lives. Some are opening up small businesses. Some are even buying homes of their own. Seems like a lot of Immokalee residents are wising up about American capitalism. Well, what happens when your workforce wisens up? You have to get another workforce. To fill in the gap, these large agriculture companies are filling the fields with even more temporary H-2A workers, fresh from south of the border. These new seasonal workers will take less money than the Immokalee people will. They're new here. They don't have much independence. They'll take whatever you give them. They're just happy to be here. Then the cycle's just going to repeat. Eventually, all the new immigrants are going to demand higher pay, and they're going to wise up, or they'll just escape, looking for more dignified work. Then they'll bring in a fresh new group of immigrants from south of the border. Give me an idea on like what the poverty is like there down in Immokalee.
It's hard, it's rough, but it's not. I mean, it's just really, I think it's more like the hard work. You know what I mean? The not being acknowledged as much because we're in College County. Supposedly, we're like on the top 5 riches in the country, and we're not really acknowledged, or we're not really represented by the county as we should be. I feel like so. But poverty wise, I mean, I feel like we're all getting by. I feel like it's just more of the hard work and less pay. But I don't know how to say about the poverty because I know there's worse. So that's the only way I'm saying that.
Yeah. How much do you guys make? How much do they make down the fields per day,
I mean,
per bucket? How does that work?
well, you see, they pay like 10 cents per bucket, but they're paying you by the hour. So if you make 100, so let's say they're paying you 70 a day, that's for the hours, and then you pick 100 buckets, that's an extra $10 for you making 80. But like I told you the other day, there's people that work by it's called contrato, by the contract. You make a certain amount, and that's what you make. That's what they pay you by what you pick. You can make 150, 200. But you got to pick 200 buckets though. So it's hard work. So in the marketing, it's more about hard work and less pay. You know, you work hard, you get paid less. So or
do you see white folks out there doing that work that you're doing?
I don't see them doing the picking. No, not the picking, but like running it and everything. Yeah, telling them what to do. Yeah, I mean I have, but it's been a while. It's been a while.
Most white people don't want to go out and bend their backs and stand.
Yeah, I don't think this is something that they really even think about. Like they probably might think about something that's hard to them, but it's not like this. In the sun.
Yeah, how far does that get you? What, $10,000?
I mean, it don't get you nowhere. So somebody that has family and all that, that poverty, I'm pretty sure that yeah, it's rough. I just can't really speak on that too much, only because I was like an only child, so I don't feel like I. But that this poverty here, there is rough. So for families with kids and all that, or single parents, yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's rough, and it is rough. It is rough, you know. And then you know every, yeah, just people with families. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's rough.
Do you work
It's
in the
just
fields?
to make 10,000, 15,000, and I'm pretty sure they're not getting by.
No. Is that what you do most of the time is work in the fields?
Yeah, well, lately I haven't did that, but that's what I've been raised up on. I haven't did the field work in like 2 years.
What else is there to do for work in Immokalee besides work in the fields? Are there any other jobs?
Yeah, well, you see, in Immokalee, so we're kind of like we're distance from all the other cities. So there's construction and everything, but you have to go out your way. Yeah, you have to drive like an hour and a half just to get to work. It's Naples is like a 45-hour drive. Omar is like a 40-minute drive. And there's people that do construction. There's not just the fields, there's and I get so what happened is the reason I'm saying how I'm saying is because the like our generation, the kids, our parents, now the kids are doing it. And the parents too. So the parents learn that they could put like properties under the kid's name and all that, and now that's why marketing is getting a little better. People are starting to run their own companies, so like the people are starting to understand, and so I feel like marketing is gonna be coming up. Like we just got to do because everybody's been doing it on themselves. We're not really getting no help, but yeah, people are doing. They starting their own companies now, and that's what I'm saying. Marketing is gonna be getting better.
Good. What kind of companies are people starting?
I mean, there's doing concrete. People starting their own concrete companies. The food vending. Selling shirts. Kids doing their own little, like toys and all that. Like they even doing the YouTube. YouTube's helping out too. People doing their own YouTube channels now. Yeah.
it's possible that you guys aren't going to have to work in the fields to make your money anymore.
Yeah. Cause now what's happening, the people really ain't coming for the fields no more like how they used to. So what they're doing, the farmers, they're hiring people from out the country. You know what I mean? They're getting like, to come pick and they gotta pay them less. So yeah, the people here they really ain't relying on the fields no more. Back then it was you come and you go into the fields. Nah, not no more. People they like I said, the family members own companies or they work in the construction or anything, cleaning. So people really ain't relying on the fields no more. Like how it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, yeah, people, the fields, like all that, it's gonna come probably to not the end, but just less and less common for the people to be working on.
I heard that a while ago, years ago, they were treating a lot of the field workers like slaves.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Well, you see, like how my father came, he said when they came on, he came to a field, like they was in the field, they had trailer parks in the middle of the fields, and they wouldn't let you go out. I mean, at nighttime you had to come out to go buy food and everything. You had to wake up 4 or 5 in the morning, go to work, come back. You had to stay in, and if they told you you could go out, they would let you out. Um, yeah, and then sometimes they like for the females, I heard that it was rough for them too because they'll try to like, I guess like prostitute them, put them in,
You
yeah,
say
and then like for the
you say
men,
prostitute them?
yeah, from what I heard from what my father said, like that happened, that used to happen, not no more. But back then, yeah, that was something it was a real situation here in Immokalee, and I think that was like in the whole state or anywhere that it was field work, because I know there's fields in all the whole country, so it wasn't just here. But yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was rough. From what I've heard from my father and my mother, that they'll keep you in the field, like in the field, because that's where the trailers were, where they had the homes. They was in the middle of the fields. You couldn't come out unless they told you to come out, and yeah.
I saw a lot of the mobile home parks, the trailer parks in Immokalee.
Uh,
Are those trailers in pretty bad condition? Some of them that people live
well,
in.
actually, I think it's the county that step up, telling people that now you have to clean up. I've been noticing like there's been cleaning up, but then now the thing is, it's the same trailers. All they're doing is just making them prettier, just painting over them or whatever. They're not really doing. There's not no new trailers, but they look better. They look better. So I feel like Immokalee is gonna be is doing good. We're not might be getting help a lot, but I mean, we're doing it on our own, really. The people are doing it on their own, and yeah, I don't know if you've been here lately, but it's looking a little better. It's looking a little better.
Good. Is your plan, or is a lot of people's plan to leave Immokalee to make enough money that they can leave, or do you want to stay in Immokalee?
I feel like it's a little bit of both. Because now everybody's a homeowner. Like, well, not everybody, but there's a lot of homeowners now. People are starting to own their own homes. Like how I said, like these people used to what it was like how my parents was. They came to make their homes in their country, and leave. Well, what it was, now they know that they could just, instead of losing everything, getting deported and losing everything, all they have to do is put everything under the kids' names. So now they're, instead of just sending the money out the country, they're keeping it in the country by making homes here. So yeah, and some people want to leave, because the market is small and everything. So some people like it here. They're making their own homes. There's a lot of homes now being built, homeowners coming up, and so I feel like it's a little bit of both. Some people want to leave, some people want to stay here. People that like it, I guess. Yeah.
Were you born in Florida, or were you born in
Yeah, I was born in Naples, Florida, and raised here in Immokalee.
how your parents were born? Where were your parents born?
My father, he's from Tamaulipas, Mexico, and my mother, she's from Guatemala, Malacatan, Guatemala.
Okay. And did they come together to into the US
Nah,
to
they met here in Florida. I believe they met in LaBelle. Yeah,
Okay.
LaBelle, Florida.
Yeah. And did they come specifically to work the fields? That was their goal, to come
Well,
and
that's really all they. That was the only option, you know. I know when when my father came, he came straight to the orange fields. He didn't, and he changed up until like into he was in the fields from 79 to 2000. In 2000, he switched it up. He got into the golf course maintenance. And my mother, when she came in the 90s, 93, and she was just doing straight tomato picking all the way to like 2006, and she started doing the packing houses.
Okay. So your parents both still work in Immokalee?
Yeah, well, my father, he's retired. My mother, she's still working in the packing house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do do you guys consider yourselves like true like American? Like, are you like a big fan of the United States? Do you like our country?
Yes, we do, because what it is a good thing that happened was both my parents have their papers. My father, he's a citizen. My mother just got her papers, and then like again, the people, like I said, they're all coming up. Everybody's getting their papers. You know, like they're understanding now. And then back then it was, I think it's the kids too, the sons. Like, we're helping our parents out. Hey, you could do this, we could do this. Back then they didn't know that. It was just straight Spanish, and there was that barrier, English and Spanish. Now it's, hey, what's he saying? Or or the kid, hey, look, mom. So yeah, I think it's not just my family, but like a lot of families, they're considering themselves Americans. Like my father, he truly does. My mother does too. Like, like part of something now, of the country. Yeah.
How do you feel the country is going? Do you have an opinion on the way the United States is going right now?
Um, the only little problem was like, well, not really problem. Well, I mean, I think I don't really know how to say this, but I think it's just like the government and everything, how they're running it. But besides that, I feel like we're doing good. It's just the inflation, I guess is what it's called. Yeah, it's just that's I guess but it's just
Yeah.
part I guess part of just what we have to go through, in life and try to get by with this.
Do you think you'll vote for a different president next time?
You see, I didn't really like Trump. I wasn't really a big fan of Trump whenever he was coming in, but um through the end of it, I actually kind of liked Trump. And now that Biden came in, I feel like Trump should have just stayed in office. I really do.
Yeah, I think a lot
I
of
mean,
people.
everybody says about the racist thing and everything, but he was kind of being real. He like you could come, but with some papers, ask for permission. Don't just, And it's kind of true, but then at the same time, it's kind of wrong because some people don't really that over there. Some people don't really even know that don't even know what a computer is. So their only option is to just jump that fence.
Yeah.
So, but it's kind of true what Trump was saying. Hey, I mean, we're not. He said I seen it like. You could. I'm not saying you can't come. You just come with some papers, ask for permission. But and the only thing with Biden, or really the only problem more than what it is with Biden is just the gas. That's like my big issue. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, he
I
shut
think
off
that's everybody's main issue is the gas and the prices. Cause I feel like as soon as he came in, was everything just went up. Like a lot of the things just came up. Yeah. But I feel like I mean it's part of something that we have to get accustomed to and learn how to adjust to it. Everybody.
Yeah, if anybody
But
would
with this social
know,
media thing, I think our generation and next will understand how to get by and make some money. Cause like I said, YouTube and all that, people are starting to understand that and make their own channels and they're not relying on the fields and nothing like that no more. Yeah.
yeah,
So I think we're doing good. I think everything's doing good as long as we understand, what we got going.
yeah, man, resiliency. Like you guys are seriously. If anybody knows about adjusting and going with the times and trying to figure out a way to make things work, it's you guys down there.
Yeah.
You guys have a fighting spirit and you're positive and you're
Yeah.
um, just it's inspiring to hear you talk like this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like a lot of people like I feel like it shouldn't be a sad story in the market. It should be a good story because I look around. There's a lot of homes being built, like homes, not apartment or trailers. It's homes. And that's why I say I feel like it's not really a sad story to be said about Immokalee because I see a prosper here. So Immokalee's doing good. People here, we're doing good. They
Danny,
learn and everything.
yeah, I feel like you should run for like mayor of Immokalee one day or something. You have a
Excuse
good head
me.
on your shoulder. I feel like you should run for mayor of Immokalee one day.
Nah, just like I was saying, like it took them all this time to just build some sidewalks, and just doing that made the market look better because you had to walk on the road and now there's sidewalks and them little things helped out. It makes us look good but I feel like they could just did a little bit more, like the school wise, I mean they're building schools, but like the community part, make it bigger, add something to it, don't just leave it how it is, but or like acknowledge us, don't just leave us. But that's besides that. I mean, everybody's getting by because we're doing it on our own. Everybody, like I said, there's homeowners now. There's not renters. I mean, there's still renters, but there's more homeowners now.
Good.
Yeah.
Is that your goal to be a homeowner one day?
Um. Yeah. I don't own nothing now, but like yeah. Owning a home here, yeah, because I own property and I'm building a home in Guatemala. And
Yeah.
I did that first because it's a little cheaper over there. You know how that is. The money over there is little. It's a
Yeah.
little. It's easier for me to do that first and then do something here. I feel like it should have been the other way, but I did. I went with that choice in my head. Build because my mother she had got me a property and I'm starting to build a house over there. Yeah.
If you could accomplish anything here in the US, what would it be if you could make your dream come true?
I think it would be like a homeowner, be a homeowner, really. To be a homeowner and have some real estate, you know? Yeah, that would be it. And
The
just
American
I guess finding something that I really want to do because I ain't gonna lie, I'm between welding and I'm in between welding or finding something else. But welding is a big something that I've had in my mind for a while.
What do you do for your work right now?
Right now I just do concrete.
Yeah.
I'm a mason blocker.
Okay. So you do construction. Do you go down to like Naples and Fort Myers and work
Yeah,
down there?
we go around the area of Naples, Lehigh, Marco Island, Port Charlotte. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
cool, man.
actually me and my cousin. He actually already started. Not really started, but he already opened up his account for doing. We're trying to start a company, concrete business. So because I'm telling you this, there's a lot of people that starting to run their own things, and we're trying to do the same thing. You know. Yeah, we try to own our own company.
Good for you, man. What
So
do
I
they
think that
pay
would be
you?
something else. Is just having our own company.
Yeah. What do they pay you a day to lay the bricks or the concrete and the mason and stuff?
I get paid by the hour, but at the day, in total, I come out with 130.
Okay. And then you
Yeah,
try to save as much as you can of that.
yeah. Well, because it's kind of good money, so I don't, and I'm single, you know. I don't got no kids or nothing, so that's a good thing. So a lot of my money, I don't really have to try to save it. It's you know, it's there, you know. I just
Hmm.
gotta keep working and everything, and it's kind of easy for me, you
They pay you in
know.
cash?
Yeah, I get paid in cash.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of companies like well, the people I work for, they're people that they're starting their own company, and I guess they don't. I feel like they don't have the insurance and all that, so they're just doing it under the table. So I'll be working with them.
Hmm.
Yeah, just people that start their own company, I'll be working with them, and they pay me cash. You know, like the people ain't really letting themselves be victims no more either. You know, we used to, especially the Guatemalans, we used to be seen as as you know the money bag, and not no more. The people are standing up for themselves, and it's a lot less than what it used to be.
I think it's great that you guys are doing better and you have a goal and you love this country and you're taking advantage of every situation you
Yeah,
can, man. Good luck to you, dude. You got a great optimistic outlook in life, man. And I'm glad you're
yeah,
an American.
yeah. That's I mean that's what I gotta do. I can't. I mean, I hear a lot of sad stories about Immokalee, but like I look around, I'm seeing people with their own business and you know their own houses, and I mean I don't think it's a sad story. It's
Good.
just probably rough, but I don't think it's a sad story. Yeah,
All
I
right,
know
Danny.
about it.
Well, thank you for meeting with me. And you have a really positive outlook on life. And
Yeah,
again, I'm just glad I got to talk to you.
yeah. All right, thank you, man. Thank you for being interested too, man.
All
About
right.
Immokalee.
All right.
All right,
See
thank
you,
you,
dude.
man.
Okay. Bye. The people that have been here forever that are in Immokalee, that have gone through all that, they're noticing the community's changing all around them. They're working to get out of poverty. They're bringing in affordable housing here. There's community centers going up. There's athletic centers. There's health counseling. All of this will help the suffering here. One day, a lot of this area is probably going to be new homes. I mean, there's construction popping up all over the place. And maybe one day, some of these new homes will be owned by former field workers. Who knows? As one Immokalee resident says, It may not be fancy, it may not be glamorous, but this town is full of opportunity. The chances to make our lives better, make ourselves better, and establish foundations that'll last a lifetime. Technically, the folks in Immokalee are the poorest people in the state of Florida, but it seems like they're really not aware of that anymore. Things have changed. They're a tight-knit community, and they all share the same burden. Some folks here are pretty optimistic about their future, and many have kind of a fighting spirit. And you can't say that about a lot of communities in America anymore, can you? Hey everyone! So it's pretty clear by now that elected leaders aren't going to help you. If you don't like what you saw in this video, demanding change won't work. You're going to have to do it on your own. If you want to be safe and want your community to be a place where people want to live, you're going to have to clean the place up yourselves. You're going to have to work with your friends and neighbors to lower crime. Politicians clearly don't care as much anymore. It's up to us.
This is Sage, Nick's manager. This has been a Corner House Entertainment production.
Are you looking to move and need advice? I do consulting. That's right. I'll sit down and talk about where the next perfect place for you and your family should be. I do it all the time. Together, let's find you a new home that's safe and checks all your boxes. You can get my email in the description to find out how I can help you find your perfect relocation. And I can also help you find your new house, too. Email me and I'll work with you on not just helping you figure out where to move, but I can help you find your perfect home, too. That's right. I know awesome, reliable agents all over the country, and I'd love to connect you to somebody who can help you search for that perfect home.